Gentlemen, start your engines.
Jason Keller had an incredibly successful Busch Grand National Series career, one that saw him win 10 races, contend for championships, and even get an opportunity to drive for Dale Earnhardt in the Winston Cup Series. Indianapolis Raceway Park will always hold a special spot in Keller's career. The 1995 running of the Kroger 200 at the track saw him lead the final 51 laps en route to his first career victory. He really hit his stride at the track a few years later, winning again in 1999 in dominating fashion. He won the pole and led 130 of the 200 laps in the event. This kicked off a stretch for Keller that saw him finish 5th twice and 2nd twice over the next 4 races at the track. Later on in his career, he also grabbed another 4th place finish, giving him 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s over his first 12 starts at the track. Out of Keller's 10 career wins, IRP was the only track he won at multiple times. The 1997 running of the Kroger 200 at the track turned out to be more of a demolition derby than anything. It saw 11 cautions for an astounding 80 laps, as almost half the race was run under yellow. Tracy Leslie, a former winner at the track, was involved in a big crash on lap 142. His number 63 car was absolutely destroyed, but that didn't stop him from being out on the track. He eventually avoided a handful of other cautions and brought his car home on the lead lap in 17th. After watching that last clip, it sounds crazy to say, but that wasn't even the most impressive drive of the night in a battered car. Elliott Sadler was running second to Randy LaJoie with less than 20 laps remaining when contact between him and the third-place car of Tim Fedewa sent Sadler around. Jeff Fuller, who was running fourth at the time, couldn't check up and ramped over the left rear of Sadler's black number 29 car. The incident left Sadler's car with heavy left rear damage, but like Leslie, he continued on with a bit of luck. After the race resumed with roughly 10 laps to go, the caution immediately came back out for yet another multi-car incident. The pace laps helped Sadler stay in second until the final restart of the day came with 3 laps left. He held on for an incredible second-place finish, despite all of the damage to his car. Craftsman Truck Series stars Ron Hornaday Jr. and Jack Sprague brought a whole bunch of fireworks to the 1998 Cummins 200. The two drivers traded the lead back and forth all night before it got a little crazy with less than 30 laps to go. They were battling for second as Sprague got into the left rear of Hornaday and sent him into the wall, destroying Hornaday's 16 truck in the process. Hornaday angrily pulled his truck into the pits, which was ironically right next to Sprague's, and quickly hopped out of his truck on a mission. As he was partially being restrained by a NASCAR official, Hornaday started voicing his displeasure with Sprague's crew chief, and a handful of Sprague's crew members yelled and pointed fingers at Hornaday. NASCAR officials had to intervene as there was a little pushing going on between the two teams. Hornaday hopped back in his truck and returned to the track for the end of the race, which was won by Sprague. The crowd was very vocal during his victory lane interview, booing as Sprague explained what happened. Sprague apologized that they made contact, but said multiple times that he didn't do anything wrong. This next incident doesn't really have that much to do with IRP itself, except that it took a driver out of his seat for the next 4 races, which started with IRP. The previous race at South Boston saw some hot tempers between Jeff Purvis and Mark Green. In the middle of the race, Green punted Purvis and sent his number 4 car into the wall. Purvis chased Green down pit road with his car and slammed into the rear and side of Green's number 37 car before coming to a stop. Crew members from both teams started throwing haymakers at each other, and chaos ensued. Purvis climbed out of his car and had to be restrained by multiple NASCAR officials so that he didn't get involved. Purvis was originally suspended for 4 weeks and fined $5,000 for everything that went on. He immediately appealed NASCAR's decision, and it backfired big time. The suspension was upheld, but the fine was doubled to $10,000. Rookie driver Matt Hutter, who had already lost his ride in the number 36 Stanley Tools Pontiac earlier that season, was tapped to replace Purvis at IRP. Unfortunately for Hutter, his day ended on lap 91 after a crash, and he finished 36th. The 1999 Busch Series race at the track saw the back end of Dale Earnhardt Jr. running double duty. The defending series champion was running both the Busch race at IRP as well as the IROC race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. His busy day started with practice in his AC Delco Chevrolet at IRP, and then was the first car out to qualify around 3 o'clock. He qualified third. He then hopped out of his car, ran to his hauler to get changed, and jogged to a helicopter with his IROC uniform in tow to make it in time for the race. Jr. finished 11th in the IROC race before traveling back to IRP for the start of the Busch Series race, where he eventually finished 5th. We hope you enjoyed our second video in the 5 Series. Keep an eye out next week before the races for a Michigan-themed version, as well as our first one dedicated to another sport. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to click like on this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out all of our other videos. As always, thank you for watching.